Hey guys, this is bkoopa666, also known as King of Awesome. Awesome was my GameFAQs account after my Koopa account got banned for my shenanigans on that board. But anyways, here I am, reviewing Donkey Kong Country Returns like I said I would. So yeah, let's take a trip down memory lane back to before E3 2010. I was pretty much one of those pessimistic DK fans who thought that Miyamoto hates the series. He's going to keep on fapping to Jungle Beat remixes until the series dies a slow, painful death, and that the most country we were ever going to see in a game, again, was going to be a few MIDI remixes in a Smash Bros. Game or a Kremling cameo in a Strikers title or a baseball sequel. And when Reggie came on stage during this E3 and said, "We at Nintendo know what you fans want in a game," I kind of rolled my eyes because he said that before and we've gotten the marvelous game known as Wii Music. But then I hear the jungle theme start up, I cross my fingers, I see Scooby Kong jump onto the stage, and I proceed to sever my ears off with a kitchen knife. And then I see Kong letters, I see a minecart segment, and I see the legitimate platforming experience that we have been deprived of for over a decade. And I came. So yeah, I got the game for Christmas. I just beat it last week. Right now I'm playing Mirror Mode, which is, oh god, I don't even know how to describe. I've lost like 30 lives in the first temple level alone. I love the difficulty in the game, but I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, I wanted to wait until this game was out. I had played it and I'd beaten it before I gave my review, as opposed to just going off the impressions I got at GameStop. So hopefully I have more credibility now, and without further ado, I'm going to stop the shitty stand-up and start actually reviewing the game. So yeah, what's good about the game? I think it's kind of ironic that good and gameplay both start with the same letter, because by far the best thing about this game is its gameplay. It's utterly phenomenal. I mean, Retro keeps on, you know, they keep on saying that we've played every single country game, we've beaten every single country game, we've played the land games, we've played the ports for crying out loud, and, you know, it shows. They nailed it. There's really not much more to say than that. I mean, if you've played all three games like I have, you notice these little homages that they stick in their returns levels. Like, and Jungle Hijinks, the very first level in the game, the O is situated between, it's over a gap between two platforms, and you have to roll to get it. Or if you're a really intelligent player, you have to have your partner jump down and get it for you. But yeah, also in Crazy Kart, the first minecart level, there's just one segment after the halfway barrel. God damn it, the fucking pig. But yeah, you have to basically jump onto this higher track, and then you can jump off it and get a one-up balloon, which is pretty much mirrored right from Minecart Carnage from the original. So yeah, everything in the game just flows beautifully also. And I think the best way to see this is just to play the first level in every world other than the first world. Um, you can see the transitions from world to world. I don't know. I hear they were in Metroid Prime, but I've never played the games. Not really a fan, so I can't say for sure. But you know, good on them if it is. But I'm gonna stick with this game. I think my favorite of those transitions is from the cave world to the forest world. It's basically you're underground, you barrel blast up, you land in the Forest Frenzy remix hits you full on, and you thank the Lord for blessing you with a country game, or retro in this case. Another thing I found, and I noticed when I played the game, is pretty much retro flexing their creative muscle for every level you know, they put in a world. I mean, my favorite level at this point is Muncher Marathon because it reminds me so much of Riverside Race from DKC 3. Well, talk about proving that they've played the games. That's proof enough there. But yeah, pretty much. I love the sounds the spiders make as they chase you. I love the frantic atmosphere. I love the fact that you bounce away from them on their own eggs. It's phenomenal, really. It blows my mind. And then another part I like is back in World 2, before the shitty boss, I might I add. It's in Stormy Seas, the octopus level, as you guys might call it. There's a barrel floating in the wave, and you have to wait for the wave to flow in one direction before you blast, or else you are fucked. Or tentacle raped in that case. But yeah, That's my one last favorite thing about the game is the difficulty. And I've seen people complain about Super Glide being in the game, but I don't mind it actually because it allows for Nintendo to make their games actually tough. Because the casuals playing the game can just, call on Eddie the Mean Old Yeti to beat the game for them, while the players who are actually going to play it for more than a week actually enjoy the experience they have. This didn't really show up in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but let's stay with talking about good games in this interview, okay? Yeah, okay. So yeah, now, the bad and the Mugly. I put Mugly in the title not just to shamelessly parody the Clint Eastwood film, but also because I believe the bosses are quite a low point in the game. You know, I came into this game hoping that it would have epic bosses on DKC2 levels of awesomeness, but I I didn't go the IGN route and have the Super Guide play for me, but I was just waiting to get pretty much every boss fight out of the way just so I could play the next awesome level. I think the bosses sucked, honestly. And it says in the interview, I don't know whether to give it any credence, but that they rushed out the majority of the bosses in a few months, and I think it really shows, especially with the final boss. I don't know. I think they really were relying on pre-release hype and them pimping it out as awesome and the tikis are awesome up until now, and then you get to the awesome final boss. It was a downright letdown. Anyone who's going to say that a Stormy K. Rool fight on Gangplank Galleon, which was the conspiracy theory based on a bunch of locked topics on GameFAQs pre-release, but anyone who would say that fight would be less preferable to Master Hand and Clown Car Bowser combined, Clown Car Bowser being his head alone, they're kidding themselves. And, I don't want to beat a dead horse too much, but, you know, people kept saying with the regular Tikis, oh, they might be really awesome. They might be giving something new to the game. Wait till release. I've waited till release. I play the game, and I have not found one instance that I think a Tiki could have not been replaced by a Kremling and had it be even more awesome than it already is, which is not very much, unfortunately. I mean, hell, Tiki Zings, those aren't even those aren't even replacing Kremlings, but I think that Miyamoto basically said he basically gave the enemies a big middle finger and said, "Here, you're from Rare. We're not using you. Let's just put in half-assed enemies that don't look interesting. They have no personality. I could count on one hand the number of enemies I actually enjoy. The only ones that come to mind right now are the cage berries and the stilted chickens. But anyways, my other main complaint about the game, and I think this is also entirely Miyamoto's fault, is the control scheme. Yeah, I was playing Monster Marathon on Mirror Mode. I skipped ahead to get to it because it's my favorite level. And there's just one part where there's a higher platform, and there's a gap below you, and there's a platform on the other side of the gap. I tried rolling, like, off the platform and under it to get to the platform, but then the roll didn't activate, and I was devoured alive by insects. So, I, people were going to complain. This and the Kremlings, people are going to say that I don't know what I'm talking about, that my opinion is wrong, that they are, the end all be all source of information about the game, and they'll probably just turn it off. But, I think it's pretty valid when you have a whole lot of users complaining about the shake to roll, and also the similarity between crouching and blowing. Blowing is, I don't really see the genius of blowing. It's fun to blow dandelions in games, okay, amazing. But yeah, I don't see why they couldn't have mapped the roll to a button and had it be just as effective in the game. And people will tear me apart for that, but frankly, my dears, I don't give a damn. So yeah, my final score for this game, I had it as around a 7.5 pre-release because I hadn't enjoyed the absolutely brilliant. I like the game just keeps getting better as you play it through and through. I Right now my score is a 9. I take off half a point for the lack of personality in the game, the lack of nostalgia stemming from the characters, and also um, I despise the controls, you know. But I don't fault Retro for any of that, oddly enough. I think Retro, I agree with the assessment that Retro is the new Rare after Rare has gone down the shitter. Um, And I think that Miyamoto is to blame for both the enemies being taken out because he's jealous of Rare's penis size, pretty much, and also that he wants to shoehorn creative controls into every single game he can, even when it's detrimental to the experience overall. I never enjoyed the game more because I was shaking the Wiimote like an, like a crazy kid. But yeah, 9 is a pretty good score. You're going to complain that I didn't give it a 10, probably, but you know, 9's still pretty damn good. That's still an A where I come from. So, anyways, this is BCuba666 signing off. Have a good evening, and enjoy getting your ass kicked by the best game on the Wii so far. That's all.